New restrictions are devastating for Guido DiNardo. He's struggling to keep his nearly century-old family business alive. It makes me want to cry, he says. I'm only staying open for my children. If it were up to me, I would have given up already. Experts in Italy say the new, rapidly spreading variants are to blame.
I am convinced that in the next week, and probably in the next 2 weeks, we will have a further increase.
Italy is trying to accelerate its vaccine program by opening new mass clinics this week, including drive-thrus. But its recent decision to suspend the AstraZeneca vaccine means a shortage of doses.
Every day we waste is probably some hundreds or some thousands of people dying who may have been, saved by the vaccinations. So
this political analyst questions whether Italy's decision was based solely on science.
Yesterday's decision to, halting the vaccination with the Oxford AstraZeneca vaccine has been induced by some sort of panic at the European level.
And just as Italy was the unfortunate leader in the first wave of COVID, there are growing concerns across Europe about this surge and whether more parts of the continent are headed back into lockdown. Renee Filipponi, CBC News, London.
Back in this country, Quebec is easing some pandemic restrictions as the province works towards having all Quebecers who want a shot inoculated by June 24th.
It's encouraging, but the battle is not over. We have to stay very careful for a few more weeks.
As of tomorrow, the curfew in the province's red zones will be pushed to 9:30 p.m., while other areas will soon see it lifted altogether. More students will also be heading back to in-class learning later this month. And still in Quebec, a scathing new report says the Heron residence, a privately run long-term care home in Dorval, was primed for disaster when the pandemic struck. Among other findings, the investigation by groups representing doctors and nurses says there wasn't a director of nursing in place just before the pandemic claimed 47 lives last spring, and that the staff they had was undertrained. The report says the province has to ensure better standards of care.
Well, 2 nurses were fired today from a Quebec clinic after an Indigenous woman said they had taunted her with racist insults. It has echoes of a similar incident from last year that also made national news. Alison Northcott has her account and how it's tapped into a much deeper issue.
Jocelyn Ottawa went to an appointment at a Joliette clinic last week and says she left feeling humiliated. It was bullying, she says, and it began with 2 nurses. She says one told her they would call her Joyce instead of her actual name, Jocelyn, and they asked her to sing a song in Atikamekw. The name, she thinks, was a reference to Joyce Echaquan, the Atikamekw woman who recorded healthcare workers hurling racist insults at her at a nearby hospital last fall, shortly before she died.
Je me disais, pourquoi elle me dit ça? C'est-tu pour se moquer encore de Joyce? Elle a tant souffert, puis les gens trouvent encore un moyen de se moquer d'elle.
After she posted online about her experience, the local health authority launched an investigation and fired 2 nurses. Following Echaquan's death last fall, the health authority hired a cultural security liaison officer and mandatory cultural sensitivity training was put in place for staff. The health authority says the nurses had received some of that training.
We need more education, more awareness.
But so much more needs to be done, says this leader, so First Nations people can feel safe when accessing health care.
We need a government that's going to work, not piece by piece, but we need a government that's going to work on a systematic matter on this discrimination that First Nations are going through.
Having this, again, I'm feeling horrible.
Quebec's Indigenous Affairs Minister acknowledged there's still work to be done, but denied systemic racism is to blame. The Premier has continually said it does not exist in Quebec.
I don't believe the system brought those people with no judgment or being racism. We believe there is a personal accountability for that.
Ottawa says she's already returned to the clinic because she says she had no choice. She needed care. Alison Northcott, CBC News, Montreal.
And Quebec's coroner is investigating the death of a woman who posted video from her hospital bed saying her treatment was killing her. Mireille Jumeau has said she had been given penicillin over the course of 3 days, despite her insistence that she was allergic. She was eventually, finally transferred to another hospital, and as she had pleaded, but she died soon after.
In Alberta, a 19-year-old man has been charged with first-degree murder in the stabbing death of a fellow 17-year-old high school student in Leduc. Police say the attack happened inside a classroom Monday morning and that the two knew each other. The suspect is due in court on Thursday. Tributes for the victim have been pouring in at the school.
I have our own group of friends, and you always see her laughing and smiling and stuff with them. Oh, we're a really tight community. There's a lot of feelings, a lot of people are crying.
And so the school is shut down for the rest of the week, and support services are being made available for those who need it.
Well, the breaking news now, a senior female officer in the Canadian military is resigning due to the military's handling of sexual misconduct. Ashley Burke has the latest on this. Ashley, what happened today?
Well, Andrew, this is a scathing resignation letter from a high-profile and a well-respected female officer. Lieutenant Colonel Eleanor Taylor is a deputy commander of a reserve brigade and a distinguished combat veteran who served in Afghanistan. She said that she can no longer stay in uniform because of what she has seen and what she has not seen. Now, CBC News has obtained a copy of a letter sent to military leaders that has been circulating among Army headquarters, and in it, Taylor wrote, "I am sickened by ongoing investigations of sexual misconduct among our key leaders. Unfortunately, I am not surprised. I am also certain that the scope of the problem has yet to be exposed. Throughout my career, I have observed insidious and inappropriate use of power for sexual exploitation. I have been both a victim of and participant in the damaging cycle of silence, and I am proud of neither. I am not encouraged that we are investigating our top officers. I am disgusted that it has taken so long to do so."
Wow. And Ashley, can you give us some perspective, what the scale of this resignation means?
This is sending shockwaves through the military. Taylor was referred to some young women in the forces as their North Star. In her letter, she wrote that she spent the last decade being a champion for women in the forces, speaking up for them. And now she's suggesting the military drop the name Operation Honor, which is the campaign to stamp out sexual misconduct. She says that it has lost all meaning. This is a huge blow for the credibility of the military. In the end, it seems as if this woman's spirit wasn't broken by the misery of the war in Kandahar, but by the sexual misconduct in the military and how it was handled.
Ashley Burke, thank you.
Thank you.
On the southern U.S. border, migrants are once again crossing over by the thousands from Mexico, seeking asylum now that rules made under the Trump presidency are being loosened. Susan Ormiston is at the border in Texas tonight with some of their stories.
Each day, more come. A surge not seen in years, families struggling to get into the U.S. spurred on by desperation and hope.
All their paperwork is squared away, no issues?
They've been at detention centers, a few nights, papers checked, released now at the bus station in Brownsville, Texas, so humanitarian agencies can help them on their way. Ian gets new socks and shoes after a month-long trek from Honduras with his mom, Irela. Her family paid smugglers to get them across the Rio Grande.
The last month, were you scared?
Bastante. Very afraid, she says, nearly crying, telling us she came to escape violence and poverty. The pandemic and hurricanes have only made things worse.
Do you know that there's a new president in the United States?
Sí.
Do you think that you have a better chance now?
Sí, sí.
COVID has vastly complicated migration, but here they must get tested before they move on anywhere.
These migrants have now all been cleared to transit from here to a sponsor family or a relative somewhere else in the United States and live and wait until their asylum cases go through the process.
Mi mama.
Sergio Chavarria brought one of his 4 kids, calling back home to Honduras to assure his family they made it across the border.
And why did you come now?
Before, I couldn't come, he says, but the new president gave us an opportunity. Asylum seekers and record numbers of unaccompanied children are again risking everything, paying smugglers to get across into the U.S. Biden's team warning, "Don't come now," largely ignored. Republicans calling the surge Biden's open border.
This crisis is created by the presidential policies of this new administration.
That's the bridge.
But migration lawyer Charlene de Cruz says any surge is reaction to pent-up demand.
The way the previous president decided to take care of it is just to seal it until it reached a fever pitch. It's like a tourniquet. And then when you let it go, of course there's going to be flowage.
Back at the station, Irela waits for a 9 p.m. bus to join a brother in Houston. Other families scatter across the U.S., sending a signal for now they made it.
And so, Susan, of all the things to worry about there, what is the most urgent concern?
Well, the real pressure point is those kids coming in without their parents. Thousands already in detention, numbers rising sharply, and facilities are overcrowded or not appropriate for kids. FEMA has been called in to build more capacity, but it all suggests that Biden's team miscalculated how many and how fast people would test its new immigration policies.
All right, thank you, Susan. Senior correspondent Susan Ormiston in McAllen, Texas, tonight near the border with Mexico.
Well, a month after he was first admitted, Prince Philip was discharged from hospital today. He returned to Windsor Castle. In a statement, Buckingham Palace passed along Philip's thanks to the staff and everyone who wished him well. The Duke of Edinburgh was treated for an infection and underwent a heart procedure. Well, Canadian football fans have gone a whole season without the CFL. Now they could see major changes to the game.
I wanted so badly to make it to the NFL after the CFL.
Coming up, The Rock is cooking up a potential collaboration with the CFL. What might that look like?
It gets wet when I'm outside.
Plus, the unique problems that kids face as they adapt to wearing masks.
We look at things in totality, but they look at the details.
And a message in a bottle.
I went down there to pick it up and throw it away when I saw a piece of paper in it.
A letter is discovered 25 years later in Cape Breton. We're back in 2. Well, 2 Canadian grocery giants are joining forces. Sobeys' parent company, Empire, is buying a controlling stake in Longo's, including its 36 stores in southern Ontario, in a deal worth about $350 million. Longo's will retain its name. The CFL, meanwhile, shot down a rumor today it could cancel this season and the next. It comes as the league, strapped for cash, continues talks around a new business partnership in the United States. And as Jamie Strachan explains who it's with, one of the world's biggest stars, is what's raising eyebrows and questions about the future of the league.
9 years ago, Dwayne Johnson dismissed the CFL.
Do you have any idea how much you gotta suck to get cut from the Canadian Football League?
But 25 years after he was cut by the Stampeders, The Rock wants back in. He's in exploratory talks with CFL officials.
Some look at this place and
after partnering with a hedge fund to buy the dormant XFL.
Winnipeg Blue Bombers, Grey Cup champions.
The CFL has never lacked for passion or purpose, but the economics have long been a challenge.
I think the reason the CFL would look into it is because The Rock is involved and they really feel like it's a chance for supercharging the league.
After COVID delivered a season of empty stadiums, the gate-driven CFL may be eyeing money and more fans.
This game is already being liked down there. They can develop it more, and they can go from making the CFL a more community league to a real, true professional entity that makes money.
So you want inside on that? Before his 11-year CFL career, Doug Brown was drafted by an early version of the XFL.
They don't have a history of running successful football leagues. All they have is cash. And to me, it kind of reeks of desperation when a league that is as established and storied and has the longevity the Canadian Football League has is collaborating and talking with the XFL.
The CFL says the potential partnership could engage new fans. At the same time, many are worried it could drive away older fans who make up the league's core audience. At the same time, though, fans are sensible to the league's reality.
The XFL seems to have a little bit more financial support, and so it might allow the CFL to survive, but at what cost?
As long as they stay true to the Canadian roots and the rules, I'd be okay with it.
At this point, the idea could be a Hail Mary, or just what the perpetually struggling CFL needs. Jamie Strachan, CBC News, Toronto.
Coming up, kids are facing unique challenges as they adapt to a new world with masks.
You can't see over your faces because you have your mask on.
What that means for how children process information down the road. Stay with us. The drug company Moderna announced today it has begun testing its COVID-19 vaccine on children. The study includes kids under 12 years old and as young as 6 months. Moderna expects to enroll more than 6,700 participants in the U.S. and Canada. The company did not say how many had already received a shot. So for now, most kids will continue to use masks for protection. And to their credit, they seem to be handling it quite well. So tonight, a shout out to all those little kids who wear those masks, especially the tiniest ones just starting school, just getting used to the idea of school, now having to do it differently. We looked into how they're faring and how they're overcoming the challenges of mask wearing.
All right, go get your sillies out. Go run them out. Go run them out. Go run them out.
By now, John Geldis's kindergarten class of King Edward Public School are old pros, like the mittens and toques and 2 hot snowsuits that are the must-haves for this season in the schoolyard.
You need some help, Willow? No, I don't.
Wearing a mask is just what you do when you're a kid now, and these kids have thoughts. Does anybody have a reason why you like it?
Because it keeps me safe.
It keeps you safe. That's an excellent answer. Okay, what don't you like about your mask?
It gets wet when I'm outside.
Why does it get all wet? Remember, because you're
Chewing on it?
You're chewing on it. Sometimes you're chewing on it, or sometimes
Licking on it.
Oh, you don't want to be
licking it.
You can't see your real faces because you have your mask on.
You can't see your real faces because you have your mask on. Thanks, Chelsea. That was a great
That's a
response.
very good answer. Spare a moment for these little ones trying to figure out who's who, a class with twins nonetheless. Telling people apart means learning tricks. Who always wears the hat with the spots or the pink coat? Do you ever get confused with your teachers?
No.
No?
I know that's Mr. J because he has a turtle mask.
Yes, Mr. G does usually wear that mask with the turtles. That's handy because until they're teenagers, they're still honing recognition and need all the help they can get. A York University study that's still under review suggests a mask reduces recognition in kids by about 20%. That's 5% worse than adults. But they find ways around it faster.
Like a visual acuity level that...
Kang Lee was studying kids and recognition before COVID came calling and says they have an adaptation advantage.
We look at things in totality, but they look at the details. So because of this advantage, so if we make that situation more likely for them to latch on to these details, then kids can really navigate their social world more easily.
So put your hair in a ponytail, but don't take it out of a ponytail.
Exactly. Maybe. Yeah. Don't change your hairstyle. Don't change your glasses.
Is there a possibility that kids are going to have some heightened abilities coming out of the pandemic because of this?
What we have learned in the past is when something like this happens, that you block some kind of information channel and kids have to navigate around it, suddenly their other kind of abilities increase, not decrease, because the child's brain is very plastic, very adaptive.
Hi, Izzy. Hi, buddy.
And when babies start learning about speech, faces are critical to getting tone and meaning.
Hello, hello. Hello, hello.
Watching how lips move, fundamental to forming words.
That first year of life is when speech and language are emerging in a major way.
David Lukowitz with the Yale Child Study Center has been researching that for years.
Buenos días. Despierta.
His study involves showing videos of women talking to babies. Then, by tracking the baby's eye movements, they saw that until 4 months of age, the focus is predominantly on the eyes. Then at 8 months, attention shifts to the mouth and only intensifies as they approach a year old, especially in homes with more than one language spoken.
Hi. What do you think?
So if those babies growing up who are getting 2 languages at the same time, they might actually be negatively affected by the masks more than monolingual babies.
Tick-tock, Izzy's a clock. Tick-tock.
The good news is babies' brains develop so quickly they can adapt if adults shift how they interact.
The brain is able to make up for any sort of missing input.
Hi, honey.
His fix is a lovely one, just a boost in face-to-face time between parents and babies.
Have them in front of you and interact with them as much as you can en face, so that they really get that full package, the auditory and visual package.
And to help out our friends, the schoolyard mask pros, more changes from the grown-ups. Teaching vowel sounds without showing anyone your mouth now has to be a dance. This class has been keeping journals about all these changes in their lives, what the masks make difficult. A key one here, it's hard to yell for help. Also hard to know who needs it.
Like, how do you know if one of your friends needs help, or is sad, or is happy?
It's kind of hard wearing a mask.
Can you tell if somebody's smiling?
Again, here's where a good teacher can and will make the difference.
And now it's like, well, we also have to talk about body language. Okay, like look at this person's body language. They're standing there with their arms straight out and their fists clenched. They're angry. You can't read it on their face, but they're angry.
In a weird way, are they learning more about how people express themselves than they would have?
We hope so. We hope so. It's just finding other ways to navigate those kind of waters. Well, listen to the tone of my voice. Look at my body language. Look at my eyes. Are my eyes crinkling at the sides? That means I'm smiling, I'm happy. My eyes are bugging out of my head. That probably means I'm scared. Stomp your feet. Give them a good stomp. Give them a kick over by the door, and let's head inside, please.
It is work, but work he mercifully adores, and his gaggle of young, masked-up charges are all in.
Okay, so first of all, adorable kids.
Totally.
Second of all, I'm a dad. I've got two kids, so tips.
Okay,
more
so
tips.
Firstly, all the parents and teachers say the kids, especially that age, are doing really, really well. They are so good at this. Some of them, here's a hot tip, have figured out how to slide snacks into their masks, sort of like turn them into feedback.
Sounds messy.
But basically for the adults, for the rest of us, they're saying, please, just remember, just try to talk to the kids like you would on the phone, slowly, loudly. It's a little thing, but it will ease their frustration of not being able to figure out what you're saying.
Fascinating stuff, okay. Coming up, lost at sea and found years later.
Thought it was just a bottle that had come up there, just some random bottle.
No, not just a random bottle, but these Cape Breton kids found inside. Coming up, but first.
For the first time in over 60 years, we have fragments of a biblical book.
A trove of new artifacts were unveiled today by Israeli archaeologists. Among them, dozens of new Dead Sea Scroll fragments found in a desert cave believed to be nearly 1,900 years old.
So these are new pieces of the puzzle, and we can add them to our greater picture of the period and of the text.
The discovery was part of an unprecedented operation.
We surveyed more than 100 kilometers of the cliffs of the Judean desert, and you can see the results.
Besides the scroll fragments, the finds also include a cache of rare coins from the period of the Jewish revolt, a 6,000-year-old mummified skeleton of a child, and a large intact basket dating back more than 10,000 years.
I wanted to pay you a compliment.
Well, I'm listening.
I think we work well together.
Can you move?
You have to stop.
Why aren't they moving?
You're a good cop. If we work as a team to go after Randy and Steph Bone, we could take down the Stockwood crew. We could do it, Duff. We could do it together.
The Humboldt Broncos crash is seared into the memory of many Canadians. The sudden loss of so many young lives, and the survivors left broken and struggling. Less known is the story of crash survivor Caleb Dahlgren that he tells in his new book. He opened up to Karen Pauls about the future he has found beyond disaster.
For Caleb Dahlgren, the hockey rink is his happy place.
When you're out there, it just feels effortless, and it feels like you're flying in a sense. Like you're just gliding on the ice, and it feels like high speed, obviously, because you are going really fast, and it feels super smooth.
Smooth is not how you describe the past 3 years of his life.
I feel the pain, I feel the hurt, but I also feel comfort and lots of emotions when they come here every time. Life is so short and fragile.
It was here that the Humboldt Broncos bus crashed on the way to a playoff game in April 2018. Everything changed.
I still can't remember anything that has happened.
13 players, including Dahlgren, were injured. 16 players, coaches, and staff members died.
We are at one of the biggest crossroads of my life, but there was many before, and there'll be many afterwards. And we all have a different crossroads and how we want to choose to respond to them.
Is there any pressure that...
Dahlgren left the hospital recovering from his own brain, neck, and back injuries, struggling to come to terms with what happened. A journey he describes in a new book.
I do want to make an impact on this world. I want to leave a positive impact. And so I thought by doing a book, I could leave my positive mark on the world and honestly set down the Broncos side of me.
Setting down that side has proven difficult. He couldn't walk down the street without being stopped by strangers who wanted to ask him about the crash. So he found a spot by the river to escape.
This was my place to get away, to hide in a sense, but also to heal too. To grow, to learn, to understand, to conquer, but also to feel a sense of healing and hope for the future that what's to come, but also to reflect on what has been lost and what I've been through.
While reflecting, he noticed the birds on the bridge and the stars in the sky. Inspiration for this tattoo.
And the stick and the puck, where we had a bond through hockey on ice. And the skate marks are the scars sketched into my soul. 13 birds in a V formation, and it's for the 13 survivors of that day. We have 16 stars up in here, and the 16 stars are the ones that aren't here who shine their light on my soul. And the light beams for finding the positive overnight of even in the darkest times, and to be that light. Oh, good try.
Before the crash, Dahlgren was offered a spot on the York University hockey team, the same team his Broncos assistant coach Mark Cross had been on.
When Mark Cross, who's the epitome of being a Lion, says someone else is a Lion, it made it very easy to make a decision on Caleb.
Despite his injuries, Dahlgren practiced and worked out with the team, but was never cleared to play in a game.
It's pretty surreal. Unbelievable, honestly.
Now, with his book launched and about to graduate with a commerce degree, Dahlgren is planning on a career as a chiropractor, hoping to help others as he also continues to heal.
At the end of the day, there's so much strength in being vulnerable and opening yourself up, and I think this can hopefully develop some conversations around other people's households and also generate some awareness around topics that aren't really discussed. And so I wanted to use it to help, and I think that in return it's helped me just as much, if not even more. The wind goes through your hair and you can hear your skates. And that was what I fell in love with at the start, and that's what I still love about the sport today.
Dahlgren's days of competitive hockey may be over, but so much of his life is still ahead of him, and he's grateful.
You can't escape away from what happened. I think you have to face it head on, honestly. And you have to use it either as motivation or as something that you want to make a difference. But you still have to try to find the positive. You have to be thankful that you're here and make the most of every day.
Dahlgren is skating confidently into his future, living every day in memory of those 16 who can't. Karen Pauls, CBC News, Winnipeg.
Coming up, the pandemic has disrupted so many parts of our lives, including our relationship with food.
Eating disorders really thrive in isolation and secrecy.
The consequences of upending our daily routine. We're back right after the break.
On your marks,
Get set.
bake! This is insane.
These coconuts are so perfect.
The Great Canadian Baking Show on CBC and CBC Gem.
I'm Jamie Poisson, and tomorrow on CBC's daily news podcast, Front Burner, We Charity founders Mark and Craig Kielburger face another grilling by politicians. Are we any closer to finding out what happened? Subscribe wherever you get your podcasts.
Many aspects of our lives have been put on pause, if you will, during the pandemic, but unfortunately not eating disorders. And as the demand for treatment grows, Canadian researchers are preparing guidelines for delivering therapy virtually. Kayla Hounsell explains.
Working from home, Sarah White needs reminders to eat. She sets an alarm 6 times a day, 3 meals and 3 snacks. She says losing her pre-pandemic routine changed her already difficult relationship with food.
I would eat breakfast in the car, but I don't need to drive to get to my spare bedroom that I use as an office.
She was always a picky eater, but says the isolation made her realize she had a problem.
So I had all of the time in the world to eat, but I was finding I wasn't eating nearly as much as I should have been. It started to feel a lot more serious than it had in the past.
In September, she was diagnosed with ARFID, or Avoidant Restrictive Food Intake Disorder.
Eating disorders really thrive in isolation and secrecy.
Eating Disorders Nova Scotia expected to help 250 people over the past year. It ended up supporting 1,000.
Across Canada, we've really seen a number of folks who are reaching out for support for an eating disorder, just really going through the roof.
So a group of Canadian researchers set out to determine how best to treat eating disorders during a pandemic, particularly in children and young adults. Their findings are about to be published.
It's not just talking therapy that's important with eating disorders. There's also checking weights and checking vital signs, which can't be done virtually, really.
The study's principal investigator says in-person visits are still a must, but some therapy can be delivered via phone, smartphone apps, or online with adjustments.
We often start off the session saying, are you in a private space? Are you feeling comfortable?
White sought help in an online support group offered by Eating Disorders Nova Scotia. She now works for the organization, bringing valuable real-life experience to a problem made worse by the pandemic. Kayla Hounsell, CBC News, Halifax.
Well, still to come, a message in a bottle in transit for a long time.
Dear friend, me and my friends have decided to write to someone.
The story of pen pals a quarter of a century in the making. Our moment is next.
Meet some of the most amazing animals in the world.
I find lynx paws just fascinating.
And the people who care for them.
Good boy.
Arctic Vets. Fridays on CBC and CBC Gem.
Black music has a new home on the block. Hip-hop, Afro-pop, and more. This is our music. The Block, weeknights at 7 on CBC Music.
Oh, a pen pal friendship 25 years in the making started when these Nova Scotia brothers found a message in a bottle. Nima and Mila Mitchell were out playing when they discovered that bottle and decided to write back. It's our moment.
Dear friend, me and my friends have decided to write to someone.
8-year-old Nima and his brother Mila discovered a message in a bottle that washed ashore 25 years after it was written.
He saw the letter out of the tree lying beneath a pine tree. Nima saw it and thought it was just a bottle that had come up there, just some random bottle. And he went down there to pick it up and throw it away when he saw a piece of paper in it.
But it was actually sent by Nellie Nadeau, who launched the bottle from a Quebec shore in the summer of 1995. And it traveled roughly 90 kilometers to where the boys found it.
Everybody wanted to keep it on paper, not electronic, just because that's kind of the spirit of the thing, and it just sort of fulfills the karma, I guess.
Okay, so these kids aren't just smart to find this bottle, they're also they're little detectives because they had to look her up, they had to find out where she is. They had a hunch that the name they saw on a hospital site was right.
Right.
They wrote to her, she wrote back, but it got sent back to her.
Yeah, and apparently it's going to keep going. They actually have plans to link up in person, most likely once the pandemic's all done, of course. She's in Alaska, going to make the trip out to Cape Breton, Nova Scotia. Yeah, that's something. That's The National for this March 16th. Have a great night.
Good night.